This office has always been on the forefront of new technology, utilizing it to better serve the residents of our county. Under my leadership, we implemented, and I'd like to share with you some of the things we implemented. E-recording, the electronic filing of land records 2 years before the state mandated it. All those paper transactions now are almost gone. We're doing about 75 to 80% land record processing through electronic recording. We've streamlined our interaction. We did this about 5 years ago with the Bergen County Tax Board. Manual copies of deeds were sent over to them. That's been replaced by electronic communications. Quicker, saving money. Everything electronic saves money and time. Through these initiatives and others, I've been able to bring the services of my office to the comfort of the constituents' homes, place of business, or within their communities. I've been determined to keep the office in the forefront of technology. I don't want it to fall behind like it was when I got here, and I don't want to get stuck in the status quo. However, we have constraints of our budget and the amount of employees. The electronic things that we've done, the new technology has allowed us to keep our employee staffing at what it was before, 30 years before I got here. It's less than it was 30 years before I got here. We have employee strength of 55. And our budget has remained flat, so they're at historic lows. So why are we here today? To reminisce? No. We're ready to take the next step to improve the lives of the people of Bergen County. I had the honor and the privilege to serve on the state's blockchain task force before COVID. I attended a number of meetings. I never heard about blockchain before in my life, but Steve came with me, my deputy, Steve Chung is here someplace, there he is. He attended the meetings with me, and we began to examine it. We were writing reports, everyone had assignments on the committee, and we were pulling together, and COVID hit. So the committee hasn't really been active, but since that time and over the past 3 years, I've reached out to people that I've heard that are active in blockchain, the leaders of blockchain, because I saw that throughout the country, other government agencies have used blockchain, and that was back before COVID. So I said, now it's almost starting to become old technology. So I settled on Balcony, which I learned to be a leader in blockchain-based land records management, and we've met many times over the past 3 years informally. They did a pilot program for us, and I was very impressed by the results of the pilot program. I'd now like to present to you representatives of Balcony who will provide you with positive details, and I'd like, of course, to begin on top with Dan Silverman, the CEO and co-founder of Balcony Technology Group, and he can tell you more about himself. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Dan Silverman, CEO of Balcony. Thank you all for being here on this momentous occasion. I'm privileged to stand here with the leadership of Bergen County, the state of New Jersey, and the people who believe in a better future for the way we manage, protect, and preserve our most critical records. At Balcony, our mission is to build the digital backbone of the real world, using blockchain technology not as a buzzword, but as a tool for truth, transparency, and transformation. Today, I'm proud to announce the formal commencement of our 5-year engagement with the Bergen County Clerk's office to strengthen their property records in an effort to eliminate fraud, prevent hacks, and increase efficiency. This partnership marks the largest blockchain deed initiative in the entire world. We're thrilled to officially begin this journey towards a more secure, transparent, and immutable blockchain-based public record system. This isn't just a technology upgrade. This is a paradigm shift in the way we think about protecting the ownership of our most valuable assets. For generations, the deed and property records to your home have been stored in fragile, disparate databases, vulnerable to tampering, ransomware, and fraud. That is no longer acceptable. Bergen County is planting its flag as a leader in technological innovation and setting an example that counties across the country and around the world will follow. Many of the systems used today to manage property records were built before I was born. They weren't designed for the threats of today's world. Sophisticated cybercriminals target state systems with ransomware attacks that cost taxpayers tens of millions of dollars annually. And now, with the rise in generative AI, fraudulent documents can be fabricated in seconds, completely indistinguishable from the real thing. The systems we rely on to protect ownership are under siege. We can't wait for the next disaster to act. We need real protection now. That's where blockchain and Balcony come in. We're building tamper-proof, cryptographically authenticated records that cannot be altered or faked. Using distributed ledger technology, we could demonstrate a clear, traceable, immutable chain of title, ensuring full transparency and validity of ownership history in a way that's never been possible before. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, said, "The next generation for markets, the next generation for securities, will be the tokenization of every financial asset." We believe the same is true for real estate, and we believe it starts with the government. By tokenizing properties and deeds, we're not just protecting records, we're laying the foundation for a secure, future-proof framework, digital framework for asset ownership, where money can flow faster, transactions are frictionless, and fraud becomes obsolete. One day, the entire real estate settlement and recording process from start to finish will happen entirely on-chain. That future starts today. I want to thank Bergen County Clerk John Hogan, a visionary leader who has embraced innovation and championed this initiative from the very beginning. Also, Steve Chong and Carlos Soto here from his administration. I'd also like to thank Governor Murphy and NJ Fast for making technological advancement a priority in the state of New Jersey. Thank you to Avalanche, our blockchain partner, and our incredible team at Balcony who have made this moment possible. This is more than a contract. This is a commitment to the people of Bergen County, to the integrity of our public records, and to the belief that government can and must evolve. Together, we are building the infrastructure of trust for the next century. Thank you. I'd like to turn it over to Luigi, the Chief Strategy Officer of Ava Labs.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you, John, and everybody here today. Representatives from Bergen County, the Balcony team, and members of the community. My name is Luigi D'Onorio DeMeo, and I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Ava Labs, the creator and steward of the Avalanche blockchain. As a New Jersey resident myself, it's an honor to join you on such an exciting day, not only for Bergen County, but for the entire blockchain ecosystem, and for the future of digital public infrastructure in America. At Ava Labs, our mission is to digitize the world's assets. Avalanche was built to power this kind of innovation that we are discussing right here today, where secure, scalable blockchain infrastructure delivers tangible outcomes. We believe blockchain isn't just for finance, it's for governance, for public trust, for resilience. And what Balcony and Bergen County Clerk are doing here is a shining example of that vision coming to life. This project is more than an IT upgrade. This is the largest blockchain deed tokenization project in the history of the United States. And it's happening right here in Bergen County on Avalanche. Nearly 1 million people will benefit from faster, safer, and more transparent access to the records that underpin their most important asset, their home. It is a model for the nation, and we're incredibly proud that Avalanche is the foundation this project is built on. When governments manage data at this scale, roughly 370,000 deeds, approximately $240 billion in value, they need more than promises, they need something that works. Avalanche was designed exactly for this mission-critical infrastructure. This is evidenced by being a chosen blockchain by many esteemed institutions, such as FIFA, BlackRock, JP Morgan, Citi, FEMA, and many others. With near instant finality, low costs, and the flexibility to support private, public, and custom blockchains, Avalanche ensures this platform will scale, adapt, and endure for generations to come. We've already seen the devastating impact of ransomware, fraud, and system failures on public trust. By moving these records on-chain, Bergen County is not just modernizing, it's future-proofing. Tokenization is not just a theory anymore. It's a solution, one that transforms how assets are managed, transferred, and protected. The digitization of assets is unlocking increased transparency, traceability, and efficiency. In Bergen County, this translates to less red tape, faster deed transfers, and protections against fraud. Blockchains are changing how value moves digitally. Companies are using stablecoins to power cross-border payments, businesses are using tokenization to reduce operational costs, and governments are now utilizing blockchains to deliver transparency and efficiency to its communities. To County Clerk John Hogan, thank you very much for your leadership. To the Balcony team, thank you for your work to push the boundaries on what is possible with blockchain. It's not always that we have opportunity to work with teams that have such persistence in a difficult path. At Ava Labs, we're excited to continue working with forward-thinking governments across the country to modernize how public data is secured, accessed, and transferred. Thank you very much.
We're setting the stage for modernizing the real estate data infrastructure. We're laying the foundation. This is not going to be completed today or tomorrow or next week. We're laying the foundation for long-term automation and auditability. I have a trust fund that's for office improvements and betterments. It's $2 on every land transaction, and you know, it adds up when you have a big county like Bergen County. This is the best place to test new technology because we have the ability, we have the funds without tapping taxpayers' pockets to carry out new technology. We can't be afraid of new technology. I kind of think that those who were here before me were afraid of new technology because when I came here, there was Post-it notes, there was mimeograph stuff. Remember the old purple mimeograph? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I think the place was stuck in time. So we can't be afraid of technology. We must embrace it. We know that it's safe. We know that it's secure. It's protecting us greater than ever before from ransomware and hacks. And this is a great step forward for our office and for our county and for the people we serve.
How does this produce revenue for the county?
Okay. So let me just explain this. The system that we have where our people input the information into a system that we have a company we work with, right? That's gonna stay. This is gonna enhance it so that, and correct me if I'm wrong, when this is all done, somebody in their home, in their office home, or in their bedroom, or watching television, are gonna be able to go to their laptop and they're gonna be able to trace their whole history of the property that they own from the beginning to most current time, from the beginning to current times.
So, yep, to add on that, obviously it'll create more efficiency. But I would say the biggest thing is that if we prevent just one ransomware attack in this 5-year pilot, it'll more than pay for itself. For an example, we're based out of Hoboken. They got hit by a $2 million ransomware attack just a few months back. The state of New Jersey has paid an estimated $30 million in the last year from ransomware attacks. So we're trying to protect taxpayer dollars. You know, as John said, this isn't coming from taxpayer dollars, but it will protect taxpayer dollars in the event that we're able to prevent or restore information after a hack. The other thing is that some of these bad actors may not be looking just to get money out of it. They may be looking to create chaos. You know, foreign enemy hostile territories may want to come in and black out our records so nobody knows who owns what. That's a real threat, and we can't sit back and just let that happen and react after. We need to be proactive about it and take care of that right now, today.
We're also seeing an increase, not tremendous, but more than I've seen since I've been here, of people. We have sovereign citizens trying to reclaim land that their ancestors had. We have people that are actually trying to present fraudulent deeds, and our employees are trained to eyeball it. It's a manual process now. This will stop it way before it gets to that point. And you know, we're looking forward to that too. Can you also speak about what communities you're involved in or working with in Bergen County?
Sure. So we're involved in Fort Lee. That was one of the earlier towns. It's also much easier when we're working directly with the municipality. One of the goals is to create interoperability directly from the county to the municipality. It sometimes takes as much as 90 days for a deed to actually be recorded or in the tax records once it gets recorded here. And during that window, a lot of times deed fraud and mortgage fraud take place. We're also working with Cliffside Park. And who else in Fort Lee, in Bergen County?
I know you're doing Orange.
Orange is in Essex County.
Yeah.
We're working with Camden, so other municipalities throughout the state, and we're looking to expand throughout Bergen County, being as we just signed this contract, and obviously the Bergen County towns will benefit greatly from having more interconnectability and autonomous, streamlined alerts.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dan.
Can you guys just